There's discussion to develop these sea sanctuaries for stranded marine mammals as well as marine mammals that were once in public display, and taking them out of concrete tanks and putting them into these sea sanctuaries. And so there's a lot to consider about marine mammal health, marine mammal medicine, and very specifically marine mammal behavior. So when taking an animal, say from an aquarium setting and putting it into a large sea sanctuary, sea pen situation, there's behavioral considerations that range from transport approximations to acclimating the animal into its new environment, preparing it for its new environment, and also making sure that the animals are going to be healthy once they're put into that pen situation. Is cetacean rehab a viable management tool? If you look across the various organizations that have done cetacean rehab, the frequency of success of actually getting an animal that was debilitated and bringing it into a situation of rehab and then releasing it, the actual numbers of that successfully are very low. However, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't do that as an industry. That means that we should continue to learn, because these animals are indicators of ocean health and population health, and we do know that our ocean health is declining. It continues to decline over time, and so these animals are indicators that can help us potentially input management strategies in different regions to help stop the strandings or to increase populations. We also see human-related or anthropogenic impacts, such as plastic ingestion and responses to the ever-changing level of noise in the ocean. We see strandings as a result of that. So it's important to continue to do this. In these cases where there are anthropogenic impacts, in the cases where there are anthropogenic impacts, we can sometimes undo those. So I talk about a case frequently where a whale swallowed a balloon, a cigarette wrapper, trash bag, all this other stuff, and was eventually, all that was taken out, and the animal was successfully put back into the wild. So we have a responsibility as the human race to, if we're polluting the oceans, if we can undo that in a few cases, we should be doing that. So that's the reason why you want to continue to consider cetacean rehab as a management option. What people can do to help prevent marine mammal strandings is be a responsible steward of the ocean. Just imagine that anything that you put in the land or up in the air, it all eventually ends up out in the ocean. So in the case of this little whale, these were common household items that we found in a whale that, in the area of the world that it's stranded, the east coast of the US, they were found many tens of hundreds of miles offshore. So the stuff ends up in the ocean. So put your trash in the appropriate places, recycle, avoid balloon releases. Those are fun celebratory kinds of things, but they end up in the stomachs of marine mammals, sea turtles, get caught on reefs. So balloon releases are really not a good idea. In Hawaii, we have an issue where we're trying to strike a balance between sustainable ecotourism in the form of viewing wild spinner dolphins and the health and safety of those spinner dolphins. And that situation in Hawaii is really a microcosm of what's happening globally. We're seeing more and more people globally going out to view marine mammals in the wild, which is a good thing for awareness. However, they live out there. This is their backyard, this is their home, this is their living room and their bedroom. And so when we enter into that, it's as if somebody's coming into your house, and you would not want somebody, for example, interrupting you while you're sleeping or feeding, or if you were a nursing mother nursing your baby. And so if you think about it that way, we want to make sure that when we're out in the wild that we're not greatly altering the behavior of those animals, because they have to make a living out there. And it really, while it's the ocean, it's kind of a jungle out there. It's tough to survive, and there's a lot of impacts on them already between noise and marine debris. And then you add on top of that harassment or disturbance from vessel traffic, that can take a toll on their stress levels as well. So we want to view them from the appropriate distances, and we want to be mindful of behavior, and we don't want to disturb their behavior. Well, WCA is a very young organization, but there's a lot of cutting edge things that are going on with the organization, and it's a refreshing perspective that they have on issues such as marine mammal public display, as well as whale watching. And these are obviously areas that need continued guidelines that need to be updated. And it's all in the name of animal welfare. And so whether you're talking about animals in a show situation, an aquarium, or whether you're talking about wild animals and how we view them in the wild, it's very important to be responsible stewards. And what WCA has done is brought these experts and a lot of great people from around the world together to share ideas on this stuff. And it's a very constructive atmosphere in which to share these ideas.